Those of you who are watching the videos back, I just have this little window here so that you can hear my setup before the stream starts because I am actually doing things. I'm not just kind of piddling around. I'm just kind of getting some stuff into place, and I just have this here so that you can hear the audio and also see a little preview of what's going on. I wasn't able to get. You know what I could do? Okay, I got a better idea. What if I just move this under there? Okay. Don't need to see the image, just want to be able to hear the audio here. So, let's give a quick test. Yeah, you can hear it. Okay, I'll perhaps put it down to maybe have like minus 24 dB, so you can hear it like super quiet. Awesome. All right. So you'll be able to hear me working in the background while we wait for some to appear. But I'm not going to be doing any explaining before 11:30, of course. All right. Well, hello there. Hello there, everyone, and to all y'all watching, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. Yeah, I just need a couple minutes here because I'm getting a program over from my laptop. So give me 1 second. I think I got it. Here it is. So I want to put this in music, and or perhaps I have Max on this computer. Yeah, I do. Let's put it in there then. Let's put this on the desktop. Patchers. Move all these out. Okay. Oh. Damn machine can't be opened. Alright, well. Never mind on that plan. I'll have to troubleshoot that later. Alright. So, let me open up the Soundtrap project here. And I'll switch on over. And I also want to show off another DAW today. I'm not going to tell you which one. You'll just have to guess. But it is very similar to one you've used before in the physical previous summer camp you're very familiar with. But it's like an upgraded version of that. That's all I'm going to tell you. So, effects demo. And we're going to try to use that DAW today to perhaps do some finishing touches on our track. But we're only going to work on our track for the first hour. And then for the second hour, we're going to just try to create something from scratch in this new DAW. And just go through it, and we'll discover things, and we'll see where stuff is, as opposed to in Soundtrap, and how much more advanced it is. But let's go ahead and pop right in. Hello. Let me a little bit of light here. Hi. Okay. Let me switch over here. So, we have our Soundtrap project that we have been working through. Our plan today is to get this second half. So from this point on, want to get it working. Want to get it to its final state here. So let's just jump right in, shall we? First thing I'd like to do is we've got this sort of drop section here with all the cut up clips and all that, and then that goes right into a more into a section where we have some volume automation on our bass track to give us a pumping effect. What I'd like to do is take this second half that has the pumping effect and make that its own section entirely. I'd like to make this outer section here, or this part, be like right after this pumping section, kind of lead from it into there, and then from there we can probably just kind of fade it out and finish it. So we're going to start by creating a little bit of extra space for ourselves. We're gonna want a 16 bar, or what is this? This is an 8 bar. We're gonna want an 8 bar gap to let it build back into it, and then let the song build back into that pumping section. Then we want a 16 bar section here that encompasses this. So we will double this up, and do some more stuff with it. So let's move this then a little bit more to the right. And here, too. Oops. what I need to do with these clips that are sort of off of the beat to get them to line up properly. I'm going to use that little clip trick that I showed off. This is basically that you can, if you want to copy over clips that are in very specific locations without them getting a little bit off when you move them over, you should select a clip that's right on a grid line and then move that to another grid line, and then the other clips will just kind of move relative to it. So like, for example, I want this one to move so that it rolls up and it's exactly like in this spot, but you can see that it's sort of off a little bit. It starts a little bit late, and if I paste it in, it's just going to start there right at the beginning here. Wait, where is my mouse? It should be working. One second. Let me get my... Oh, I spoiled it! I spoiled it! Hopefully you still don't know what it is. But alright. Might as well say now that I've kind of accidentally flipped over. We are going to be using Logic today to help us create a new beat. But first I'm going to start up my software, because for some reason my halo is gone and I need to... Okay, I'm opening all sorts of things. Get rid of drawing. Now I can do this. Cool. So yeah, you can see that little gap here. That's not going to be there if I were to just copy and paste this. It would start right on. And I think this clip did it too. Yeah. Well, no, actually that's in the right spot, because I selected everything and moved it all forward at once. So, all right then. Let's select this much and select that much. We're gonna move this one because it's right on the beginning here, and we're gonna move it forward 16 bars. Make sure it lines up with that. With these clips on top. Yes, it does. And now we have a nice empty section for us to move this into. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to move all of it, because we don't need to. We can just copy and paste certain sections. We just want to move over this bass track. But first, before I do that, I'm going to move the automation, because the automation doesn't get kept. Or I should say it gets kept. But it gets kept in the same spot. It doesn't move with the clip like you would want it to, like I would want it to. So I'm just going to copy paste, and that works just fine. Same thing here. Going to select this much automation, copy, and hopefully it doesn't start from this point, and it did. Okay, so that's something we need to be aware of, that it's going to start from that first point that we select, or from in the region that we select. Also, this is a filter sweep, so probably don't want that to happen until the end anyways. So we're going to bring that out another 4 bars, and I'm going to have the filter sweep happen at the end there instead. I'm going to bring the volume up so that it's not making this long ramp. It just kind of just stays flatline until it needs to move again. Okay. And perhaps I should have it down here, because that's volume, right? Maybe it's better to have it muted than all the way up. Just personal preference. Okay. All right. So then we've moved this forward. Let's delete this part, because we don't want the pumping here. But we do want some sort of volume, so we're going to bring it up to about... Let's zoom in so we can get a... Oops. So we can get a closer... a more fine scale to make our automation on. Going to bring it up for this section. Maybe not that far, though, because that's like... we're trying to balance these things out. Where did I have my base? About like... 1 o'clock or so. Let's see. So about here. Can't really tell where the knob is. Well, I guess you could. No, see, it doesn't move. It doesn't move when you move through the automation, which would be nice. So, all right. Now, we can move the clip. So let's move that clip forward. This is just the topper. I might bring that in. Yeah, I might as well bring it in. Let me make sure that this is starting directly on the beat. It is. Okay, so then I can just copy paste this, no problem. So we come over here. We get something like that. Perhaps I'm going to take these plastic craft pads down a bit. This one's automated, so I can't. I want to take down the reverbing. You know what's going on is... I think this... Oh yeah, it's the volume is all the way down here. So I can't even hear the first chord. Now what I want to kind of do is see how I've got the pumping here as well. But we've got it alternating between two tracks. So what are we to do? Well, pretty simple. All we got to do is take the automation. We're going to take the first half of automation because we don't want that ramp down at the end yet, because this section is going to be twice as long. Let's go ahead and make that happen. So that's going to be twice as long. This ramp up's not going to happen. Well, perhaps it might for the transition, so we could leave it in. That's fine. And then we'll just take this whole beat and we'll copy that over as well. Just for now. I mean, we're gonna of course make changes to it. Whoops! I didn't mean to undo everything. I just wanted to undo that one little move. Sometimes it's weird with its undoing. Okay, and also it's option dragging. There we go. Okay, I got it. Let's copy the automation. And do I want to keep this ramp up? Sure, why not? Why not? We'll keep it in there. Let's do the same thing for... Oops, that's wrong. How did that happen? That's fine. That's fine. I'll just copy the first quarter. Oh, I grabbed one of the dots and it moved up. Okay. Let's zoom in so we can get a better selection here. Let's take that much. Let's go over to where the volume, or to where the next section is, and paste. So I'm going to paste in this curve on both tracks, even though it alternates between them, just so we can get the pumping effect, but still have it alternate between the two effects, right? So we have something like that. Let's go ahead and keep the volume up before we get there. And same thing. Well, actually, we can keep the volume down before we get there, because nothing's happening before this point. Chris, delete there, by the way, to get rid of a point. This one I can also get rid of. Delete. Same with this one. That one is needed. And you get this. I could even do a little bit with, I do a little bit more. I was going to say with the volume, but can't really do that, can I? Here. Oh, you know what? There was that instance last time where I went in and adjusted this volume knob, but it messed up my automation. I actually kind of want to use that this time, though. I'm going to boost the whole thing up a little bit, even the bottom end, so that even when it goes down, even when it pumps downward in the motion, you can still kind of hear it. So I'm going to boost that up. And now we just have the whole curve just shifted up a little bit. And this one I kind of want to adjust to make it more... thinking of what could I do to this, or maybe nothing. Nothing. I can do nothing. All right. So we got this pumping action going on with the pads. We got the pumping action going on with the bass. That's down here. We've got this big open silent area now to fill. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's unsolo these tracks so I can hear everything, and we want to remove this pumping action because that's no longer the theme of that section. We want for all the time before the volume pumping, we want a certain level, so let's bring it up here. Let's test that out. The kick's off again somehow. This happens every time I load it up. I don't know why. Let me just hear the drums. 1 second. Like, I could have sworn that I moved these into place yesterday and saved it. But somehow they're off again. That's weird. I'm even looking, like, really close here. I can see, oh. What the heck? Yeah, it's this kick sample, man. What is happening here? Alright. Tell you what we need to do. We need to redo this kick, because until that is in line, this is not going to work out. It's not going to work out. So, let me fix that. Yeah, hence doing a different DAW today. I don't know. I don't know. Soundtrap's good, but hey, it's got its flaws. It's got a couple flaws. It's like no matter where I put this, it still sounds like it's in the same spot. What in the heck? Of course, obviously there it's going to be different. But I just... I'll get it. I'll get it. Zoom way in, get it right there. Oh, okay, of course the clip ended. It still sounds early, even though it's like right on. Not expected behavior. Let's repeat this out so that I don't have to keep restarting the clip. All right. In other DAWs, I was able to just drag in an area and create a loop, but I have to go back here, grab that, turn it on so that I can troubleshoot this. A little early. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Worst case scenario, perhaps my CPU is overloaded by this thing being open. Because, you know, the other day, this was happening to me, and I closed out. I had Ableton open and I closed out, and it actually fixed the issue. So what I'm going to try and do here is save and reload. Because, you know, the drum hit was right on the beginning of the measure, along with the MIDI hit and along with the beat on top. So it should technically all be in sync, but it's still a little bit off, even though it's visually there. So, and I was getting different results yesterday. So let's try and reload the page here. Nothing else is running. Let me even make sure of that and kind of close down some of my other software. Quit. Yeah, we don't need active installs right now. Okay. This should be good. Don't need to log into Pro Tools. Alright, is our kick gonna be there? Is it gonna be there? Well, obviously it can be there, but... See? now it's right on. Like, what in the world? Okay, alright. So now I know I can't have two DAWs open at the same time. If I do, my audio engine's just going to freak out and not know how to deal with kick drums, apparently. So, alright, we're good. Let me just go ahead and put all my kicks back into place, because now that it's in line, I can cut off the beginning with a little slice there, and then I have a clip with that beginning right on a grid line, so I can just sort of copy and paste it where I need it to be. I'm going to cut it off at 51 so that we have an even loop. And that way, I believe I could just, if I cut it off here, I cut it off right here. Let me just do it again just to be sure. Then I can loop this and it should stay synced. Right? I should just be able to pull it out. So it's going to test down here just for sanity's sake. Turn the loop off. Okay, perfect. Things are happening how they should be now. Awesome. Just to be sure that this is lined up, I'm going to copy in that to there. Play over it. Okay, it's good. Awesome. Okay, back to the subject of today, which is getting this drop in order. Now that the drums are in order. We have these guitar clips that I never really messed with that much, but they were part of the second drop as well. But they're all in different positions. If I copy paste, it's going to start here and everything's going to be off. But, you know, that's not too bad because it's only what is that? It's only an eighth note ahead. So I could just copy paste this in, no problem. Copy. And go over here. And I'm going to move an eighth note ahead. Boop. And paste. And that should have put everything in the right spot. Yep, it did. And we still got some work to do with that rhythm there, of course. But let's bring it into the second section as well. The second half of that. Okay. So at least have them there, ready to work with. And for this section, I suppose we'll leave it because, well, do I just want to copy the rhythm of this one, or do I want to do something completely different? See, I'm not sure yet. Let's listen to this. This could also be made to better fit with the beat, I think. Yeah, all this could be like moved back. At least these could be. Just a hair. Here. Bit forwards it, maybe. especially this one. If I were to delay that a little bit, it might groove a little better. Swung, you know, kind of the same idea of putting swing on a beat. Just delaying these bass sounds by a little bit might make it feel like a little less rushed. So I'm gonna do sort of a similar treatment to just the rest of all of them right now, including this one. But by a little treatment, I'm gonna just move them forward like an inch. Maybe a millimeter, centimeter, whatever you want to call it. Cool. Ah, we have another viewer. Hello. Yeah, that helped. That helped. Let me do the same thing for these last two transition clips. Just a little bit forward. Okay, I need to zoom in some more so that I can get them just the tiniest bit forward. Oh my gosh, Soundtrap does not like being zoomed in that far. There we go. Just wanted to inch it back. Okay. So now this section should groove a little harder. Yeah, that helped out quite a bit. I'm gonna do the same treatment to the guitars because now they're happening early because I moved the bass forward. So take all the guitar sounds. Now this is gonna put them off of the beat so that the copying is gonna be a little bit more difficult, but that's okay because I'm probably not gonna be copying this anyways. I'm gonna be doing something original here. So let's see. Get to a good spot here. And inch forward. Ah, you know what? Something's happening here. This guitar slices shouldn't be on top of these delay and stereo delay guitars. This should be part of that next section. I could just move them over like that, couldn't I? I could just use the arrow keys. If I hold shift, but it only nudges them a little bit. Okay, maybe it's not the best. They're probably off now, aren't they? Yep. Okay. What we'll do to get these to line up properly is I'll take this first cup and oh, I can't. Ew. Ew. All right, then I'll take this and then everything else. That and that. Okay, copy. And I want to bring that to measure 65. Because I copied this one at the beginning, everything else should be lined up now. Okay. Get rid of those. Clean up this section. Let's bump up the volume. All right. Let's just copy it in for now, and then we'll make slight changes. Slight changes. Okay, we'll just get that. Let's just look at the bass for now. This rhythm should be different, of course, or maybe there might be a little pause here. So maybe right on measure 2 something can happen. Let's go to our base slices track. In fact, we're going to move our base slices track up so that we can have easier access to the samples. So imported samples, we're going to move that up to sliced base, right above sliced base. And we'll move these samples forward. So this is all of all the things we've imported. You can see there's quite a lot here. Ooh, didn't want to move that back. For some reason I can't undo it. Okay, there we go. I'm going to move all these forward so that we have easier access to them. Okay. We're not going to worry about it overlapping other stuff because it's muted, right? And the only reason this is here is for me to go through and solo this track. So I solo the imported samples track. Go ahead and listen through all the bass sounds I have, or all the bass sounds I made for this project. So I'm looking for something with a good amount of like impact. That one's pretty good. That little figure there. Something like that. Now I gotta zoom in real close to make sure that I get the right cut here. I don't know if I want that ending note. But I'll take this whole piece there. Alright, cut that out. And go back to our guitar slices track. Excuse me. Our bass track. And let's paste it in. Actually, let's paste it in up here first so we can see how long it is. Okay. So we wanted to start on measure 2. What do we have here now? Sugar wow. So I want this to stay. Perhaps we can have this note extend out. Or maybe we just get rid of this entirely. Cut here. I don't want that ending thing. Let's see. Let's just move it in. What if we just took... What if we just took this out and then use the last 2 notes of this figure to lead into that D instead? So, or to this next bass line instead. So, with the beat, or with the kick. I want it to start a little bit later. On measure 2, that is. So, I also want these notes to lead right into this. So I need to make sure that those transients aren't too early so that it grooves with the kick. These bass notes need to be a little bit later in the kick drum. So let's hear it. Yeah, that's good. Maybe even later than that. We'll fade it in at the beginning. Fade it out at the end, and we'll hear it. So, subtle thing, but it works as a good entry point. Alright. What about this next section? Maybe I'll leave these the same. I'll leave bars, like the even bars, the same, right? But I'm only going to change the odd ones. So this one here. So I'll leave that figure, but this one will change. This one will change. That. that's definitely it. That's really cool. Okay. Take that much. That much. Copy. And go back here. And paste it in. There. And take out the end there. Move it forward. Fade it out. Okay, let's hear this. Pretty good. Let's put the other kick in so it's a little bit more obvious how it works with the beat. Later. Later. Not that much. Okay. Back some. Can't really tell from that much. Cool. That'll work. That'll work. Fade it in, and leave that much the same. And now this, oops, I moved it a tiny bit. Yeah, so this figure can definitely change too. Let's look through our samples. Whoops. I need to solo this track. Yeah, that's what I used before. That's cool. Little rapid section there. I want to use more of this. That much will change. And we'll figure out the guitar with that. Oops, that was the higher note. I wanted to keep that. Oh. Okay. Get rid of all these extra notes. Line it up. Move it down. Ooh, perhaps if it was delayed or back a bit. Because the G does start on an eighth note early, right? Perhaps keeping, or perhaps using another filler clip would be nice here. Let's pick one at random. Okay, that can go here. So, how can we get these two to work together? I want it to land right there. Fade out. Perhaps if it fades out there. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Maybe this was delayed a little bit. Nice. Okay. That's good. That's good. We'll work with that. I'm actually going to change this. Mute. Oh, wait. Let's, instead of doing that, let's just unsolo. Unsolo. And solo the imported samples. We want to look for some A-flat replacements. So that's an option. That's an option. I like that, like, kind of static section in the middle there. This part. And this part at the end is good too. So let's grab them both. So slice, copy both, move them forward, and so on and so forth. All right, let's see. Get back to where we were. All right, let's paste that in. Let's paste it in up here so that we know how long it is. Great. And the process repeats and so on and so forth. But we're getting close to the end. The end of the job's right there. And, yeah. These things are, so far, I mean, I'm just kind of grabbing stuff, like, quickly and just settling for things. But it's turning out pretty well, I think. So yeah, this guitar track is going to have to be adjusted. This is the ending part of that clip. That's the beginning part. So obviously we're going to work with the guitar here in a second, but I want to see how I can get this to work here. So beforehand, what does it come in from? Oh yeah, there's that too. Perhaps I replace this with this. So we have to make sure that this starts at the right spot. So it helps to have the kick going to tell where the beat is. This one I can tell already is a little bit too forward, so I'll bring it back. Even still. Perhaps like only two. So how could this go? Go here at the beginning, maybe. Like that. Or we could do like an alternating between the two. Maybe I'll take another variation of these. Oops. Let's go back in the clip some. Let's try to find some other... Yeah. Some other versions of this. Kind of how would you describe this sound? It's like like a sweeping up, like a wow bass. I would call it a wow bass, but it's kind of like a woo, like with an e sort of syllable. Like this part here. Wah, wah. That's what I was specifically looking for. It's a cool sounding E flat part before it too, but I just want this part. So how can I get this to groove? So maybe something simple. Simple's always good, or simple's usually good. Just gonna alternate between the two. Hear how. Maybe? Perhaps if we made these happen on the offbeats, it would sound interesting. Nah, it just sounds like they're earlier. You need to move it back even more. That's how it's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be bow went bow, or it could be bow wicked bow now. Like that. But it's still not it's not exactly on the beat, so it's like so the rhythm for 61 through 64 is like, this is like eighth notes, or the timbre changes like in terms of eighth notes. So it's bang out and beat out, and then I guess you could call this like, you could say this is like waka, or I guess I could use the syllable waka for it. You know, it's when you're trying to describe bass sounds, you make up some pretty strange words. But this is the waka bass, and this is the bowed out bass. Like, how am I supposed? I could go in there and say, all right, well, this is the saw wave that's processed through this filter and made through this way, but we're just kind of trying to refer to these things in colloquial terms, and it's yeah, not happening. Or it could be wow now. Or this could be the last figure, and it could be break it down now, whip whip. Yeah, that. That is the answer. Let's just get everything to be in time. So, yeah, like that. Like that. Indeed. We have a muffled sweep on this one. That's why it wasn't giving us those high frequencies. Oh, and we have a muffled sweep throughout the entirety. The rest of this, we don't want that there. We don't want it for, beforehand either. Okay. Alright, that's fine. We'll leave that the same. Okay. So, in its entirety... These can move forward. I need to select them both. Come on. There we go. Zoom in so that I can move them a little bit. Oh boy. Come on. Nudge. There we go. Perhaps I could do that with shift and arrow key. Oh, that doesn't... that nudges like a measure. Or no, like a quarter note. Yeah, no. All of this needs to be delayed so that it kind of fits better with the beat. All right. This needs to be delayed. All of these need to be delayed. About earlier. What does this clip sound like? Nah. I could use a better pickup sound. Oh, and I could also use this ending portion for that there. Is that the same clip? Oh. 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 Oh wait, no, I just copied. Or is it actually frozen right now? Oh. It didn't like me doing that, did it? Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, Soundtrap appears to have crashed on me. I'm gonna give it a minute because I don't want to lose my changes. But yeah, we might have to do a reload here. Hopefully it auto-saved. Yeah, you see how I'm clicking and the playhead is... Oh! Oh. Look at that. We have encountered a crash. Alright, guess I have to reload. Yeah, it might be on this note that we moved to the other DAW. It might be conveniently, that might have been a convenient crash there. I don't know. I don't think there's any convenient crash. I think those two words don't go together. Wow. I can't even reload them. Fine then. Goodbye. That was fun. Maybe my internet dropped out? No. If my internet dropped out, I would have been, my stream would have dropped out. Let's try this again. Soundtrap. Studio. Recover and save. Hopefully that does it. Hopefully we get our our moves back. I think we did. Oof. I wonder what broke it. I think it was when I copied that one clip over the other one with a fade. Things broke. Is it still gonna not save? What in the world? Okay, there it goes. Whew. Okay. Alright, we can relax now. Let me move these out of the way so that, you know, they don't happen at the same time. Let's zoom in on our base and see what we've got so far. Okay, I think we're good. We were, before we had crashed, we were gonna look for a different transition sound. So particularly, I was going to remove this one and place something else there. Okay. I'll just delete this much, and I'll come up with a different ending. Entirely. Why not? Why not? This sound combined with something else with a B flat variety. That's a beat. Well, that's crazy. Sure. I'll use that. On variation 2. Okay. Let's get these things into position. I'm trying to get this lined up. Sec. This is going to automate somehow, so I'm going to sweep this up with a high pass. Yeah, like that. And this is going to filter in. So muffled sweep. Down. Ah, this is the knee flat. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. We want just a slice of this. That's what. Okay, I remember why I got this clip. We want just a slice. We want just a slice. This one there, that slice. What already did? That one. What already did? Who what it? I'm gonna need more room for it. Wicket. Let's just take over that. Nope, it starts here. But wow. Oh, that's good. That's good. That is good. I like that. I like that for sure. Just got to fade in the beginning of the clip, but I think we're good here for the bass part of this. And pretty soon here we're going to switch over into second half, and we're going to start an entirely new beat. Let's just play the bass portion. This last figure was just a hair bit early. A hair bit early. There. Fade it out. Fade it in. It's already faded in. Okay. Nice. And that'll transition out into some other section. So the next section. The dropout here. So I'm going to just go ahead and play everything together. The guitar is going to be out of whack, but that's fine. We'll fix that later. I want the guitar to, again, line up with this rhythm, but of course I need to, you know, track it out and move all the clips. So just haven't gotten there yet. Just want to play the whole thing. that transition's gonna need something too. I don't know what, but it's just all of a sudden just crazy bass and then complete change of mood. So we'll need something to help us out here. Perhaps this little transition figure I made yesterday could serve us well. What I'm gonna do is copy this clip, and then I'm gonna copy the two beneath, so that I can get it to be exactly lined up where I want it to be. Boop. And get rid of that. Nope. That's the wrong spot. Didn't mean to do it there. Select, grab, copy, and paste. Cool. Yeah, it helps. We could always just make some better decisions arrangement-wise. Like, it doesn't have to be like these instruments in this arrangement. And this is also going to be... Ooh. Perhaps I didn't need to make this much room for myself. Yeah, I think I can move this all back 16 bars. Yeah, because here's it, the second drop. For now. I think an easy way to vary this up would just be to slap a different bass sample in here. It would be pumping, but it would be some other rhythm underneath, and it would be kind of cool. But this I want to develop more by adding some pads and stuff on top to give it some more harmonic content. But like I had promised, let's switch gears now. I only want to work on this briefly today because we have been kind of hammering on this one all week. So let's switch gears, shall we? All right, I'm going to load up Logic here. Because I couldn't have it when it was, when I had Soundtrap open, because it caused my kicks to be out of line. Interesting. Cover and save. I think I just accidentally saved, closed down my project without saving, but that's okay, because Soundtrap's good about keeping your changes. So, that is alright. Alright, let's see here. Do. Okay. Let me just start up Logic Pro so that we get it from... Okay, here we go. So when you open up Logic for the first time, this is what the icon looks like, by the way. This is a piece of Apple software, Logic Pro. It is like the successor of GarageBand. GarageBand is kind of the entry-level DAW that you get. If you have a Mac, it has GarageBand installed on it already, or it is available to you for free. So where is it? Where is GarageBand on my computer? It's around the G's. You know what I did is it's not by default installed on everyone's computer because I uninstalled it. I got rid of it. I got rid of GarageBand because I have Logic. But it is available if you go to the App Store and on your Mac and you download GarageBand, and then you can get it for free. It's a super basic DAW, but it's like a dumbed down version of this. So this is the DAW that I used to use like excessively or exclusively, I guess I should say, before Ableton came along. Before I got this push, or before I got this. By push, I mean what are you talking about? This thing, before I got this controller, which is made to work exclusively with Ableton, I used Logic like all the time because Logic is amazing, and it's got its own pros and cons to it, just as Ableton does. Although I'm hard pressed to find many cons with Ableton so far. Yeah. Well, only thing that do have one. I do have a couple gripes, but let's not get into those. Logic. So this is what you see when you open it up. So you got this is like your new project screen. This starter grids thing, this is actually new to me. This is a new update they created a little while ago, because it's been so long since I used Logic. It looks like they have added some kind of preset things, and I have to download them. Starter grids, eh? So this looks like something that's similar to the live loops that GarageBand uses, like on the iPad. You know what? You know what? I have one right here. I'll show you. I will show you. So in Garage, let me just pull it up here. Here we go to. Yeah, it's been a while since oh, here we go. Live loops. All right, I'm going to open up QuickTime here so that you can see the iPad. I'm planning on doing iPad stuff today, but it will be a good way to compare. So this is what the GarageBand for iPad looks like. You're very familiar. I'm sure that those of you who were in last summer camp are familiar with this. This is the live loop display, and you've got several cells here, right? And then you have your tracks. Your tracks on the left. I wish I could I need to get my camera stand out so that I could point at these things. But you got your tracks on the left that you can add new ones, either loops or instruments. Similarly to Soundtrap, actually, you've got your loops on the right, and the green is MIDI, the blue is audio. And Soundtrap, it's like you have the little audio icon or the little note icon that tells you whether it's audio or MIDI. This one's much more clear. But you got these like live loops that you could put, these little cells that you could put loops and instruments and MIDI tracks in, and you could like play different ones together and kind of start and stop them flexibly. So I'm assuming that that's what Logic has tried to emulate here, or tried to improve upon here. Funny though, it's funny that all of these DAWs are coming up with this sort of concept now, because Ableton did it first. Ableton did it first, and I can show you that too. But like, Ableton's got this whole idea is this like clip view where you can put MIDI tracks or audio tracks in these clips, and you can play different arrangements of clips and move them freely around in this cell, kind of in this grid view, rather than this left to right arrangement sort of view, sort of like a timeline. So instead of a timeline, it's like this grid that you can sort of like, play different parts. I'm curious to check these out, but what we're going to do is just start from a new project. You can either go live loops or empty project. Since I was talking about it so much, I'm going to just go ahead and create a live loops project because I'm curious. What's our tempo going to be? Well, we've been working at 125 for a while now, so I'm going to maybe go up a little bit. Let's go up to like 157. No. 160. Let's work in G. G major, sure, that's fine. 48K. Okay. So we open it up, and this is what we see. We've got a bar here on the left, which contains some information. You've got your tracks here. Give it some time to load. Hold on. But you've got your tracks here, which have your instruments on them, and here on the in the middle view, it looks like we have the cells instead of the tracks. But normally what you'd see, if I were to click here, okay, I can't click there yet because it's giving me the spinny circle of death. So, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Okay, it's ready. It was just loading up all the loops. I see. Oh, you could see both at the same time. What? I mean, sorry, I'm nerding out a little bit. But yeah, you have your tracks here at the left, and here you have the, I guess, the grid view where you could put different loops in, and then if you were to click off of it, you have your tracks, your timeline, which you are probably familiar with by now, the concept of a timeline. This, if I were to, I can zoom in here, so I can zoom vertically here, or I can zoom horizontally here, and I can increase or decrease my the size here. Up here we have this yellow section. That is our loop region. So it's the same as that purple bar in Soundtrap. Logic calls it cycle. There's a way you could press up here to toggle it on and off as well. There's a key shortcut, C. If you press C, it turns it on and off. And the thing about Logic is there is a key shortcut for everything. But for the sake of tutorial, I'm going to not use it. Try to use minimal key shortcuts. Just copy and paste and option drag are what I mostly use, and I was using a lot of that in Soundtrap too. It's like Command C, Command V. You all are used to that. You all know that. Obviously, everyone knows that. And then option drag is also the same as doing like a copy paste, but you can drag the clips in and make a copy of them where you put them. So like. So I could go ahead and look through all these loops if I wanted. Or, so there's two ways of browsing. So Logic has its own built-in loop library. And I could spend a while listening to all these loops if I wanted to. Back in the day, that's what I used to do when I was bored. Just open up GarageBand or Logic and scroll through the loop library and find something that sounds cool and start putting things together. But I'm going to go over here. So in the top right, we have a couple tabs here. We have the project event list, which we're not going to worry about too much. This is more like technical things, so don't worry too much about that. A notepad, so you can write stuff down. That's kind of nice. You can have notes that pertain to your project, or notes that pertain to a single track. So you could write here, edit, must add more bass, and then you say done. And then on this track, we know that we've got to add bass here. It's a cool little feature. Then you have your loop browser, which looks like, well, a loop. And this is all of the sounds that Apple bundles with Logic. And you can see there are a lot. There are a lot. I have too many to count. But I bet you I could pull up a view that tells you how many I have. But over here, last tab, the one I am interested in, the media tab, will let me look at, oh boy, no, why would it want to access my photos? Oh yeah, because Logic can do stuff with, why are you not letting me do this though? Oh, there we go. It's just scanning. I think it's scanning all my files, so it's taking a minute. It's been a while since I opened this DAW, so excuse the slowness. Okay, can I press OK? I can't press OK yet? What do you mean? I wanted to access my photos, but fun. Yeah, I've got a lot of samples. Give it a however long it decides to take. I guess I'll go kind of going through the interface here while this does something or nothing. I literally can't do anything else. Oh, yeah, I can't do anything else until this is done. that's fine. So up here we have kind of our transport. So this would be down in the bottom in Soundtrap. These controls. So we have go back and forward and measure. We have stop and play. What you'd expect. Then I have record, and this is actually customizable. Next to it, I have a record with a white circle around it. What that means is Logic is clever in that whenever you're playing, or whenever a song is playing, and we're playing a back audio, and you're playing something on your keyboard. Say you've got a beat that you're working on, and you're playing something over it, and kind of messing around with ideas, and you play something, and you're like, oh, I really liked what I just played, but I didn't have record enabled, so I lost it. Well, that's what this is for. This is called capture recording, and when you press stop and you press this button, it will take whatever you were just playing that when it was doing last playback, and it will put it down as a MIDI track. So it will save what you had just played. So you don't necessarily have to press record. You can just play along, and if something comes out that you like, you can preserve it. Then, of course, you have the cycle button next to it. I wish this would go ahead and work so I could continue my demonstration. So, I'm going to just, yeah. One sec. We're going to do a little restart of the Logic because I'd like to show you it, but I don't want to do anything. I just don't want to do anything right now. It wants to access my photos, but it doesn't let me press OK. What's up with that? What's up with that? Alright, go to Finder. I want to open up Force Quit. Because Logic, you are not being so nice right now. I kind of want to give it a while, but I want to give it a while when I'm off stream. Because I know what it's doing. It's scanning through all of my... Wow, the window's still there even after I force quit. Interesting. Very strange. Look at this. Look at this, man. I quit Logic, but this little prop up, this little access your photos is still there, and it's still not letting me press OK. Okay. Okay, Mac. Okay. What in the world? What in the world? Let's try starting this again. I guess. What else can we do here? Looks like it's loading up the beat I previously had. Good. It's still not letting me do this, though. And I can't close this. Can I not put this in focus? Oh my goodness. Huh. Perhaps I relaunch Finder. I think that's what I'll have to do. I think this is a Finder thing. No. What? What in the heck? System preferences? Security? Photos? I'm going to try to do it the manual way then. Oh, Logic doesn't even appear. How about we make the media, make it pop up again? Okay. Maybe don't use Logic for your first DAW. Maybe don't. Or you know, honestly, I don't think you guys, if you were to download Logic, you honestly will not have this problem. This is just because I have so many files that Logic tends to break on me. They're not responding still. Alright, well then, I'm gonna give it another minute here, and if it doesn't want to do anything, we're going to restart the whole computer to get rid of this darn window, and then we're gonna go back to Soundtrap and try to make a beat there instead. Little change of plans. And then I'm going to, of course, and then I'm going to figure out why this is happening and get Logic Pro to behave, and then we'll come back on Monday and we'll actually do a real demo of Logic. But right now, it's being real frustrating. It is. It is being really frustrating. Oh boy, you can see my you can see I'm getting pretty tired of this pretty quickly. Alrighty. Kind of hot in here. Yep. Time for a restart. Excuse this. Sorry about the delay. But this will that window being open the whole time just will not do. Just will not do. Alright. I'll be right back here. Just give me a sec. I gotta get some water and change my shirt. Okay. Change my mind. Or actually no, it's yeah, change my mind about the whole Logic thing. Let's do some more with Soundtrap, shall we? Because I know that one works. Okay. Let's... Oh, wait, no. I didn't want to load up FX demo. Let's start a new project. Enter Studio. Alright. Let's just go ahead and jump right in. So I'm going to make a new track here. What is the kind of mood I wanted to go for? I wanted to go for something that was like 160 and I wanted it to be in G major. G minor. It's better. Make sure that my MIDI is connected. Yes. Let's get a piano. It's our scale. What chord should I use? We'll keep it simple, and we'll go with a G major 7 chord without the third. And go down to an F major 7 with the third flatted. No, that's not simple. You said it was simple. I don't know. I think it sounds cool. Let's try that. So record down here at the bottom. We need a metronome. Quantize it. Alright, let's do it again without making mistakes. Easy, right? Well, I'm going to rehearse it first. That might be a cool chord to have in there. Okay. Some other chord there at the end, I'm not sure yet. Okay. This is a better clip here. Let's quantize it to 30-second this time. So, let's go into our piano roll. And can we quantize a selection? Yes, we can. Okay. So then we'll come in and make sure that these particular notes are in order. So we'll quantize them to 16th notes and see if that helps. Okay, it helped with these first 5. Some of the other ones are going to need to move manually, though. We're actually starting this clip on probably like here. Where does this fall? Falls there. Let's make this not come in like that. My mouse software quit again. What's up with that? Oh, because I restarted. Duh. Duh. Alright. Move these forward, or align them. That one too. This one's velocity can be increased. This one's velocity can be decreased, but its length can be increased. Hot. Velocity up. Let's just, we're not going to have any of the arpeggiated chords. We'll keep it simple, and then we'll do arpeggios with other elements. Ba, ba, ba. So it's going to be on the second 16th note of the, sort of on beat 4, 16th later. Maybe there. So this last chord, this chord is on the and of measure, the and of 1, because it's on an 8th note later than the quarter note, the beat 1, and this chord is a 16th note off of beat 4, so 16th note forward, and it makes this sort of rhythm. Perhaps might not be the best though. No. Change our mind. Let's keep it 8th notes. 3, 4, 1. So it's gonna go bum bum instead of bum bum. Ooh, wait a minute. What if I delayed it back a 16th note? Or back an 8th note? Nah, I liked it the first way better. Shorter. And it's got to be like a stab, so all of these got to be like max velocity. So all these notes should be nice little stab there. Less than that though. This one's max velocity on top. Okay, I can't adjust the position when it's on velocity mode. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so that should be here. This should be shorter. Nope, should be here. One, 2, 3, and duh. 1, 2, 3, 4. I forget that we are going very quick, or the tempo's 160. So need to space things out a little bit more because the tempo is so fast. Alright, we're gonna get rid of that. That was never a good idea. Let's delay this forward. balancing the chords. Balancing the chords meaning like lower or raise the velocity of certain notes in it, and it changes how it sounds. Because some certain notes in the chord are more prominent than others, especially the higher notes. They tend to be very prominent unless we turn the velocity down, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, let's go back here and hear what we've got so far. Only need the first half. So all of this quantized to eighths. Well, I could have done that the I could have done that the whole time, just quantized everything to eighth notes. I'll make the whole chord repeat. Yeah, that drawing feature, not the best. I wish I could default that to off when I started the program. Also, you can see when I hold Option down here in the the piano roll. Look at my mouse and see look at how it adds a little plus icon. So when I hold over a note and I hold Option and I drag, see that little plus icon appear? That means I'm copying this note. So just so you understand more about what's happening here. And I think we can then get rid of all of this. Goodbye. Not necessary. And get rid of all this. Cool. We have a nice clean loop to start with. I'm going to lower the velocity of all of them, because we want them to be a little bit softer overall. So there. This one's particularly offensive. Okay, now for drums. Different drum machine than that. Well, let's see what sounds we have. We've got meh. Not feeling it. It's Garage Kit though. Liking the kick. Might be nice. Get rid of that room effect though. Oops. What happened to my... Aww. My keyboard disconnected mid-recording. Alright. Let's try that again. And... Okay, let's take that and quantize it to 16ths. I don't think we need much more. Oh, and now we can see the pattern in our patterns view. We can add some more more hits quite easily this way. Let's do a couple toms. High tom, low tom. So boom, doom doom. There and there. And then that goes straight into a crash. That's a kick. Totally different. Let's find another kit, because I don't like all of the sounds in this kit, and I know that they're not going to be entirely useful everywhere. So let's look around. Let's see. We don't really have that many to work with, do we? Ooh. Lots of really nice ones in here. And they're all panned around in different places. Nice. That one's cool. Alright, I'll leave that one in. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Festival. Some nice, like, vintage, like, electronic toms. Really nice hi-hats. Ooh. Nice. Okay, let's try that one out. Do I do it double time, or do I do it laid back? Or I think I'll do like a hybrid. I'll do a hybrid of the two. So like we'll do some sections which feel like they're half the tempo, and some which are like double time, which are instead of the slower beat. So we'll work on a little hybrid here. So let's go start back at the beginning. So let's check it out. Then it goes to double time. Makes some mistakes. Let's try it again. Let's try another variation of it. I need to hear the rest to kind of play along. You need to hear the rest. What time is it? Okay. Okay. I just need to unsolo. There we go. Let's now. We'll kind of do like a cool syncopated fill at the end. That might be cool. I'm going to quantize this. Yeah, certainly not all of these hits are where I want them to be. Hey, but it might. There was a snare back here that was a little early. Or a little late, I mean. It's kind of cool how it's delayed a bit, but I wanted to be back there. That can go. That can go. Okay, how about bass? How about bass? Not that one. We want one that starts with a sample. Starts us off with a sample. Guitar and bass. Electric. Let's just pick one. Let's add something to this bass. to figure out a cool bass line for this. That could work. Edit notes. This bass note needs to go to the beginning. All of them need to be max velocity so that they all... Okay, they're going to have to be done individually. So that the bass level stays consistent throughout. Maybe for these notes I'll be... Want this to start a beat earlier? A little bit earlier. Okay. This should be good. These particular notes need to be quantized. I'm using a key shortcut that works in Ableton, but not here. I need to quantize them by right-clicking on them and selecting the appropriate grid. I'm assuming here with everything else I need to do it too, so... There we go. So I want to get to the beginning. So I can go later. Let's add in something else. Brass and woodwinds. Maybe a horn section might be a nice touch for this track. They could give us a nice little melody here. It's like a section. I wish I had a solo trumpet. So I'm working in G major. This is G minor. It should be G major. These are notes I have to choose from. Nothing's really caught yet. Not quite feeling the whole catchy melody sort of thing. Sometimes I'm able to play them, sometimes I'm not. But I'm just kind of playing different notes in the G major scale until something sticks, until I'm, you know, happy with some sort of melody. I'm not even, or perhaps I'm not even happy with this sound. Maybe it's the sound. Maybe a trumpet doesn't exactly fit. Let's try a saxophone. Sounds like something you would hear in Animal Crossing. Okay, I guess I keep starting to come back to some certain ideas. So I've got an idea of what I want to do with this, melody-wise. But I don't have the exact notes yet. But I keep coming back to a couple themes. That being one of them. And this one with the notes jumping around, that sounded okay. I could go on. I could go on. Let's look at it. Let's add one more type of instrument though before we call this track. This track quits here. Let me save it first. Save it as Animal Crossing like. Ish. I mean, I can't think of anything else right now. It's like cutesy and like something you would hear perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, perhaps cutesy is kind of the vibe we're going for. Perhaps sort of if we're going for something like relaxed and like tropical-ish. In that case, we're gonna find one more thing to help us out here. I want like a plucked sort of. Oh, a flute, perhaps. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Let's just go through sounds here. I wish. Ooh, you know what? Ukulele. If there was a ukulele in this. Okay. Not getting through much here. Guitar and bass. I'm looking for uke. Oh, it does not exist. That's sad. This can work too. I was a little kind of like, ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. That sounded nice. Let me record a couple of those in. And then we'll probably wrap up for today because it's getting about that time. Another octave up. Something else. I'm not really sure what's going to happen here, but there is going to be something like that, so I'll leave that in there for now. Maybe a little more sparse, so kind of more spaced out more. I don't want this to be happening all over the place. Gonna have like little interjections of different instruments throughout, so it'll be like something else will happen, like a flute will play some melody, and then the guitar will come back in. Something else will happen. That's the idea I'm having here. Let's try that, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta-da! The last one should be a CB instead of a what it was before. It's got some delay on it. Ooh. Ooh. So it'll be like kind of a conversation between the two instruments, between the guitar and then the saxophone, or say a flute will respond, and that'll be it. That'll be kind of the melody between, at least for this section here, between these two instruments. It'll be like a conversation. So we will continue this. We'll continue both of the tracks to not tomorrow, starting next week. Depending on how soon. Oh, I can get it done today. So yeah, next week we will be continuing these things. Okay. So this should say Monday. Keep forgetting to change it before the stream. Monday. All right, tune back in then for more beats and more productions, more explanations, and hopefully a working version of Logic, so I could show you that. Yeah, little technical hiccup today. Not one I was expecting. But I suppose I just have to give Logic some time to scan through my hundreds, and not hundreds is an understatement, of files. I suppose that was why it was freezing, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Anyways, that's all for today. Any questions from the chat? I'll stick around for a couple more seconds, and if anyone wants to ask anything, then feel free. So I'll just kind of hold this open while I pack up here. Fire away if you want to, or just say goodbye. It's up to you, or don't. You know, it's whatever. You have free will. You have free will. Okay, so this should be saved now. Making sure. Alright, I'm going to assume that there are no questions. And, yeah, so see y'all again on Monday. I'll be starting a little bit early, as usual, before 11:30, so come on.